Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode here on 539. So we are taking a break from some of the larger places that we've been filming these massive multi-part series in. Who knows, maybe this is one too, but we're kind of out in the country now and checking out this place north of Garrett, Indiana, known as 16 Cemetery. It looks like an old 1800s cemetery right next to a church here in the background. Fairly modern looking church, but I'm sure that it's probably a historic location. So we're gonna take a look around, see what kind of history we can find here, kind of gather again what we can see about what's been lost, covered up, if anything at all. But I just found it to be a really incredibly interesting name. I'm gonna try and look up some history about that here in a little bit and see if I can pass that on to you. But yeah, I thought it'd be kind of interesting to check out a cemetery only known by the name 16. Okay, so we'll walk up this stairway here. Not exactly sure how historic the stairway is or the entryway. This place looks really neat. Immediately the first thing I see is a old building at the back, and also looks like we have some historic stuff here too. I'm guessing that's part of an old paint can and something else that I can't identify. So let me know if you know what that is. So it looks like we're gonna have an interesting one. We'll read some of these graves on the way back, but I do want to do a quick circle and catch this building real quick. We have John E. Dawson here, 1864 to 1932, and so far the place doesn't look in terrible condition, that's for sure. I do see some signs of damage over the years, some decay, some very, very clear signage here on where the property line is. It must be some sort of farming property past this little fence here, this wire fence. And see a little pond back there, but it looks like our building is actually completely open. I guess we'll get a good view inside. And then I guess what I'll have to do is run back and grab my flashlight, because we're not going to probably get very good contrast otherwise. The first view of the edge of the cemetery here looks pretty clear. There's well-defined borders here. Not much that seems to even be able to pass. There's actually a 2 layers of fencing. There's another fence right here, and then a no hunting sign. I don't know if that's maybe parkland, possibly. I'm not sure. It might be a state park or something that way, or some a local park of some sort. Okay, let's make our way around here. I'm interested to catch a glimpse of the inside of this building here, and then also this is kind of neat here. This looks like it's some sort of family section that's been built up in antiquity. Looks like it might have stairs. Or either that or it fell. I think it might have fallen, and this was the wall that was standing up. We'll get a closer look at that here in just a moment. And okay, I can wind my way through here. And I don't know if this is something that is actually, it looks like it is the real placement. Alright, hold on, we'll come back to that. Let's look inside. It was just in case there's some wild animals or something. Yeah, it looks like an old maintenance shed. Ooh, and there's a gravestone hiding right there. Let's go over and get a different angle here. And there is a little area up top for storage. I don't think there's anything up there. I'm not planning to do that deep of a dive. However, looking at the base here, you can see some interesting bottles have been left over the years. All right, let's see if we can read this here, and then maybe uncover what that hidden grave is, and then I'll grab my flashlight here. At Wilbur Frayne, Ohio, private first class. It looks like 342nd base headquarters, maybe Air Force, World War II, 1919 to 1971. And then a very amazing looking World War II veterans marker right there. And now I'm realizing there actually is 2 of these sections. No, 3. I got turned around there for a second. There's 1, 2, 3 sectioned off areas with these retaining walls. And it looks like this is the only one here. And it is Edwin Fairman, 1900. I'm assuming that is just the date of passing there. That is some bad thorns. I don't see anything else. I see yet another family section over here. This is going to be a really interesting explore. This is another one that, like so many we've been to out in the country, kind of out in the country at least, like I said, north of Garrett, kind of a smaller town in northeastern Indiana. And yeah, sometimes we stumble upon these places and they just look so much bigger once you get here. There's definitely something else. So here we have a base of something for sure. No evidence in the surrounding vicinity of where it came from. Or I should say, where the top went to is probably the more accurate question to be asking in this scenario. Wow. Alright, let's just keep doing this loop for just a moment here. This actually is turning out some results, and it doesn't seem like I need the flashlight right away. But I've got about another 2 hours that I can spend here exploring before it gets super, super dark. And so I guess we will end up making this a multi-part series. So yeah, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stick around. I may not be alone. I'm not that far from civilization though either. I wonder if I'm going to find any more. One here, I think something coming up, but it doesn't look quite as lost as the rest. I'm hearing all kinds of animal noises though. Oh, there's a weird one. Is that? Okay. Not this one here. You can see the Tresh family here. Claire M., 1900 to 1960, and Cecil, 1904 to 1971. And they are brother and sister that chose to be buried alongside one another. And Okay. That just looked a lot worse than what it was. I thought that that was actually a headstone that had been pushed. We're right at the fence line right here. This is the legal boundary right there. So I thought for a moment that something had either over time had the fence or the property lines changed, excuse me. I don't know what this is here. I think this actually is a property marker, but it looks like, again, just deceiving looking. And that itself actually might not be a property marker. I think it actually is just another stone. Okay. Now, obviously there could be stuff under this gigantic tree here, but it's going to be pretty difficult to uncover any of that if there is in fact something there. This one is backwards. The Frederick Weimholler, 1878 to 1885 there. Wow. Now this area looks like they have in fact done some landscaping to start uncovering some stuff, so maybe they also have some historical evidence that there's more underneath here that has been covered over the years. That is the one thing lucky about, having churches that remain open. Even if they're under different ownership, sometimes they're able to maintain certain records. And how did I miss? Oh, there it is. Before we keep going, again, I do want to occasionally stop and read a few things. And there's a little small woodman monument here. Hiram E. Warham, 1854 to 1938. What is this? That's really... Forest A. Shell House. 1898 to 1904. Wow, that's a incredibly interesting name. And everything in here is really historic. I'm not seeing too many, if any, modern graves. Most of these people, you can see Ida Ann Ruffner, 1865 to 1925. Amos Palmer, 1868 to 1943. So just an incredible amount of history here. There's another Sabrina Shell House, 1870 and 1931, and then Edward Palmer, 1878 to 1961. Excuse me. I thought I saw something. I misread a stone, excuse me. Being somewhat cryptic, I realize. So, every time I think I'm seeing something new, it's actually still somewhat historic. The Kellers here, 1881 to 1968, and for Clinton E. and then Clara B. 1883 to 1953. There must be a lot of animals with burrows along the edge here. It's every 3 steps it sounds like something's running around through the leaves. but I never can see the animal. And we have Christine Beck, 1824 to 1882, and this is pretty much following right along. I do see some it looks like cement through the debris there. Might have been an old retaining wall. And I'm assuming, oh no. Okay, so this would probably be maybe World War I. Oh, no, excuse me. I misread again. It is probably Civil War. It says Indiana Infantry. For some reason, at first glance, I thought that was an A with the way it looks in real life. I thought it said Air Force. But we have Francis M. Cox here. And I believe this is a GAR marker here. Yeah. With what appears to be a little spider egg sac on the top. And they have put a pipe here to make a permanent place for the GAR marker. And yeah, it might be about time to head back. I'm seeing a few lost things here. And there's something else there. Some sort of glass. I think there's a few. Yeah, okay. Gerald Weimöller, 1902 to 1859 here. And then John Weimhomer, 1853 to 1923, and Mary Barbara, 1857 to 1916. Let's see if that's it. And it looks like it's cleared. If it isn't, then whatever is back there has disappeared many, many years ago. Okay. Let's head back. Actually, we'll just cut instead of avoiding making content. I gotta check something I just saw. Sorry. Once again, we're gonna dive in here. And I think that's nothing. It's so hard to tell, but I thought there was something over here too. So, okay. Alright, so what we're going to do, like I said, is just walk along this fence here, see if I can find a few interesting things along the way, and we'll grab the flashlight and see if we can get a little bit more contrast on some of these more worn down stones. So we have Adam and Mary Hovarder, Adam 1852 to 1942, and then Mary 1855 to 1908. Scott here, oh excuse me, Minnie and Jacob Scott, and Minnie 1857 to 1935, and Jacob 1849 to 1937. So much here. The middle section's probably going to take quite a while. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get the gate open to see this sign here and I won't have to walk around.